When NXIVM fell, the world exhaled. The monster was caged, the headlines faded, and the survivors began to tell their stories. Everyone thought the nightmare was over, but those of us who knew the system from the inside, we understood. The ones who truly mattered, the most devoted, were never in the courtroom. They never gave interviews. They weren't famous. They were the second circle, the silent engines, the ones who worked without glory, without public contact, but who followed every order without question. And then, one by one, they simply vanished. The news said it was the end. It was only an intermission. For 3 years, I've lived a life of deliberate fiction. I was a consultant, a trainer. I taught people how to dismantle a human mind and rebuild it in their image. And I ran before the whole rotten empire came crashing down. Now, my world is small. A little house at the bottom of a quiet hill, a remote job, a desperate attempt to forget the man I used to be. But every evening, like clockwork, I see it. The house on the hill, the one that's been empty for a decade. In every single window, a clean, uniform white light burns. No one ever enters. No one ever leaves. The lights switch on without fail at precisely 9:13 p.m. and they switch off without fail at precisely 4:04 a.m. Mechanical, flawless, like a ritual, like a program running on a loop. For weeks, I told myself it was nothing. Timers, faulty wiring, a ghost of my own making. But this morning, my legs carried me closer. My old paranoia, a familiar itch under my skin, took control. And I saw it. On the side of the old rusted mailbox, a symbol, small, almost invisible to the untrained eye. It was the brand they used for the inner circle, but it was different, thinner, more elegant, refined. This wasn't a copy. It was an upgrade. A few nights later, a new sound breaks the suburban silence, the low electric hum of an expensive engine. A black sedan pulls up to the house on the hill, old model, but impeccably maintained. No license plates. 4 people step out, 2 men, 2 women. They move with a calm, unnerving confidence, perfect posture, the kind of deliberate, controlled grace I once spent hundreds of hours teaching. The same chilling emptiness in their eyes. They walk toward the house, and the front door, locked and sealed for years, it glides open on its own, soundlessly, as if it was waiting for them. I watch from my window, my heart hammering against my ribs, a cold sweat on my brow. I know these people, not their names, but their kind. They step inside. For a moment, the house is plunged back into total darkness, and then a soft golden light begins to flicker in every window. I recognize that light. I know its color, its warmth, its purpose. It's the light of the immersion sessions, the most dangerous ones, the ones that peeled a person back layer by layer until nothing was left but what they chose to build, the ones that were supposed to be gone forever. The next day, it arrives. A plain white envelope in my mailbox. No return address, no stamp. Hand delivered. My hands tremble as I open it. Inside, a single, crisp sheet of paper, and on it, 2 typewritten lines. You know this was never going to end. Come home. We need your guidance. There are no threats, no aggression, no demands, and that is so much worse. It isn't a summons. It's an invitation, a job offer. I tell myself I'm losing my mind, that my trauma is projecting itself onto an empty house. I need proof. I need to show myself that I'm wrong. I buy a set of high-end security cameras, night vision, motion activated. I place them around my property, all of them aimed at the house on the hill. I will record the emptiness. I will prove my own insanity. But that night, something happens that I could never have anticipated. At exactly 9:13 p.m., my monitors go black, all of them, simultaneously. My Wi-Fi is dead. My phone has no signal. For 1 second, exactly 1 second of total electronic silence. And then the feed returns, and the house on the hill is no longer empty. Every window is now blazing with that clean white light, and in each window stands a silhouette, a human figure, perfectly still. All of them are looking down the hill, at my house, at me. And as I watch, frozen in pure, unadulterated terror, one of the silhouettes raises its hand. It makes a gesture, a small, subtle movement of the fingers. It's an internal sign from the old training sessions. Not a threat, not a wave hello. It's a command. The command for a subordinate to report to a superior. They know I'm watching. They have always known. This entire display was just for me. I need to run now. I throw clothes into a bag, my car keys in my hand. But I hear it. Footsteps on my gravel driveway, and then a single knock on my front door. Quiet, polite, patient. The exact same knock a coach would use to begin a session. I freeze, my back pressed against the wall, and a woman's voice, calm and even, speaks from the other side. We've started a new cycle. We need you. You remember how to conduct an initiation. Facilitator. A long, deafening pause. Absolute silence hangs in the air. And then her voice comes again, closer now, almost a whisper against the wood. Open the door. We're not leaving. As she speaks, the lights in my own house extinguish themselves. All of them. I'm plunged into darkness, and I hear more footsteps. So many more, quietly filling my yard, surrounding me. Slowly, methodically, with perfect, absolute certainty. This isn't NXIVM. This is what NXIVM became when the world stopped watching. A silent, unseen, perfect machine. And it has come for the one who knows how to operate it.